Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday evening. Want to say hey to all my subscribers new as well as season. Got a word for you. Tap in. Quick word, guys. I want to share this while it's very heavy in my spirit. I got this download when I was walking tonight. I want to share this with you guys. They are replaceable. Where's my charger? They are replaceable. They are replaceable. They are replaceable. And it may be you who's listening who's replaceable, but hopefully not, right? Hopefully not. Everybody won't be able to tap into this. But again, as I always say, if it's for you, your spirit will always ignite you and alert you when something is for you. It's confirmation. For many of you, you are experiencing, like I am, God is literally moving in real time. Literally. It's mind-blowing how things are just naturally falling into place. And then, how can I explain what I'm feeling? The things that are falling into place every day are setting things up for destiny. Meaning, a lot of us are in due season, right? But it's here, but things aren't created. Meaning, if you can picture a house being built from the foundation up, right? Okay, so the foundation is already built, but now, of course, things are being added. Your windows, your doors, your this, your that, your light fixtures, all that good stuff. And that's what's going on, right? So many of us are already in due season, destiny season, but things are still moving. There's moving parts. And with those moving parts, a lot of people and things are moving and shifting. And if you think back to prior seasons, when God starts shifting and moving things, you kind of get into a panic mode because you don't know what he's doing, or you feel like, well, you already kind of had your mindset on a certain narrative, and it's like, what's going on? Where now he's shifting, he's moving things, but you're okay with it because you're in alignment and you know the things and the people that he's shifting. It's making room for the individuals who are set up for destiny, if that makes sense. So let's just take relationships, for example. If you're going through like a really difficult time in your relationship, I'm not going to even touch marriages right now. You're going through a very difficult time in your relationships, where before you're probably freaking out and you're panicking like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Like you're just all over the place because you feel like no one would, having a meltdown. And now it's just like, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And why do you feel that sense of peace? It's because you're now tapped in enough to know that you're in destiny season. You're now tapped in enough to know that anything that God has for you is for you. And if that requires him moving and shifting some things out of the way, you're okay with that because you've now built up that trust. God has proven himself so many times for you now to doubt him. So you're not freaking out any longer. It's like, listen, be careful. Because if you walk away from this, you don't even know what you're about to miss for the rest of your life. You may want to stay connected to me. And I say this in all humbleness, right? Speaking in general right now. You may want to stay connected to me. Because see, here's one thing I've realized personally over the last couple of years. A lot of people don't realize that sitting under someone who is favored and tapped in a certain way, you can be able to tap into that grace. I didn't even know that. Someone had to really explain that to me. You can really be able to tap into that person's grace. But the point is, what a lot of people don't realize is they think and they assume that if they leave, that grace will follow them. No, 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 no. You're borrowing from me. You don't take this. You're borrowing. So this is why you can't understand that when you leave, in whatever reason, your life is now falling apart. Well, because the grace you had under my umbrella no longer covers you. I'll give you guys an example. So I told you guys a couple of weeks about a young lady who had saved up enough money for a vehicle and left in X, Y, and Z, right? Nothing bad to say about her, right? I mean, other than just the way she left. But great worker, the whole 9 yards. So several years ago, I would be like, God, this is just not the time. I'm working on projects. I don't have time to pull new applications. I don't have time to do another training. Like, oh, what am I going to do? Right. Where this time is like, listen, I appreciate your services when you were here. I know you're ready to leave. So with that being said, to be honest with you, I'm not even going to require you to put a 2 weeks notice in. Here's why. Because when somebody is really ready to leave something, that can be a job or a relationship or whatever, when you get to a certain point of any relationship, job, whatever, where it's just no longer fulfilling. So it's almost like you would try to stick it out. You're really not happy. But one thing that I've learned about that is when you're ready to go, you are not going to perform your duties the way it should, because you don't even want to be there anyway. You're just here because either you need a paycheck or you're here because maybe in that relationship you need a roof over your head until you figure things out. But you're not in there. And if you're going to be a part of my blessings, your heart and your spirit has to be into it. So because I now know you have other things going on, which I now know what it is, I'm not going to get into it. So, but because you have other things going on, I'm going to release you from even submitting a 2 weeks notice. I'm going to let you go now. Because I don't believe grace will no longer rub off onto you, and I can't take that chance. So you go ahead and do what you do. But Kizzy, at 2 o'clock in the morning, is going to get up out of her bed, and I'm coming to the blessing that God has trusted me with. But I wish you all the best. And I'm thinking to myself, folks don't even realize your grace and your favor don't transfer when you leave a person who you're under. Now, granted, you can tap into your own, right? But you got to be on a certain level for that. And you ain't even there, because I see it. You know you're not even there. But the things that you're getting right now, meaning the new car, the new opportunity, that's only because you're under my umbrella of grace. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? Not even 2 weeks later. Guess what happened? I won't even get into details, but guess what happened? Everything you touch will fail. Period. When you don't leave right, when you abort or walk away from blessings that only God could have graced you with, and you know it, right? And you appreciate it all in the beginning and in the middle and all that stuff. But then Satan is tricky. So he comes in and he plays with your mind. He drops certain nuggets in your mind and he shows you certain distractions, and you get all giddy again because you're comfortable with the job. So now the new thing is looking all good. That new thing could be a new man. Let me plug in something right quick. Don't ever, all caps, ever leave a stable foundation financially, that can be a job or whatever, for a man who's not your husband. And even then, you got to be wise. Don't ever leave your solid foundation for a man. So, fast forward, Kizzy. I felt this peace this time. Still got all kind of projects that I'm working on that's coming up. Video shoots, projects, all kind, busy than ever. But I felt this peace. Because remember, we're in due season. Anything that God has for you is for you. It's not going to shift. It's not going to move. Not so you may not have like some resistance because of course of warfare, things like that, right? But if it's for you, it will be planted. It will be solid. If it's in due season, for every season. So, yeah, I released her. The next day. Didn't even have to look. Because see, in due season, things find you. It flows naturally. There's no resistance. So if God is removing things or people or places out of your life, and if you're in due season, you will know. You will know because things are just coming together for you. When God starts removing these things, it is going to be your responsibility, as hard as it may be, to let it happen. Release your hands. Right now, if you're properly aligned in due season, it's like an ocean that's just flowing in one direction, like a stream that's flowing in one direction. There's no resistance. It's flowing. And even though it's flowing, you're still going to have some, definitely not resistance, but people and things falling off. But they have to fall off in order for God to replace them with the people who are destined for due season. The people that are coming into your life right now, the things that are coming into your life right now are forever. Are forever. Well, meaning forever when we, you know what I mean, forever here on earth. So the person who replaced this young lady relocated 15 hours. When I tell you, first of all, an amazing experienced worker, but the spiritual connection is instant. In due season, the people who are aligned within your destiny, within you, meaning the people that God will use and y'all will connect, partnerships, kingdom partnerships, and even marriages for some of you, kingdom partnership, marriages, things like that. It's the connection will be instant. The people I'm meeting right now, mind you, I'm funny about, certain things. But one thing God is teaching me, that when you are properly spiritually aligned, you don't have to know someone 20 years to realize how thick and heavy that connection is. That's us, because we're moving in flesh and we're choosing for ourselves in flesh. And now we got to like kind of side eye you for 20 minutes to see like, are you really gonna, but in due season, and again, it's not to say that you shouldn't vet people and still definitely use your discernment, but your spirit is like a connection. It's like a magnet. A magnet. And this young lady, we can't, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sitting here trying to do a training, and just the Lord is just taking over the conversation. Like everything is about the Lord, right? The job is still getting done, don't get me wrong, but the connection is like, whoa, this gotta be God. And she said to me, she said, I know I've only been here 2 days, right? Under your umbrella, per se. She's talking about job. But we've been speaking for 2 weeks over the phone all day, every day. She said, I can tell If anybody is in your circle, in your life, there's a certain grace that they can tap into. And people used to say this to me, right? And I never understood that until maybe I'll say the last year. I never really understood that until I was able to tap into Pastor R.C. Blake's grace. I never understood it. I hear people say that, and I kind of just like, you got your own grace. Go on over there. Leave me alone. I'm an introvert. Leave me alone. Get up from my grace, right? Until I was able to sit up under him and realize how many doors, how many supernatural things that happened in my life personally that just didn't make sense. But it was not until I was able to really sit up under him. If your spirit is pure and you're properly aligned, and if that, because first of all, whoever it is that you're under, I mean, they're going to know you. They're going to know your intentions, all that stuff. So please don't try to even be like, sneaky, because they're going to know. You can tap into people's grace. But when you leave and you leave nasty, please don't think that grace is going to follow you. So now I got 4 staff, some from even years ago to this very day, who's calling and begging back for jobs. 1, because jobs are hard to find, right? At least great jobs. And 2, because they can't understand why things are not in place. Well, they were in place when you was under me. Last time I checked, everything was going great for you. Life was amazing. Doors were opening. Oh, you were great. But I warned you. But it's okay. I forgive you for not leaving well, because here's why. Sometimes God will have to use things for a teachable moment. So you left unwell a job that you know without a doubt that God pushed you up amongst others to show you favor, and you didn't leave well. So a lot of times what happens with that, not all the time, of course, a lot of times what happens to that is, boom, you're going into a dry season. You're going into a dry season because now you have to learn to understand that whenever I decide to open doors for you again, and you may have to sit in that dry season for a minute, it just all depends, right? Whenever I decide to open doors and give you grace and favor again, you're going to move by the books. You're going to move by the books. You're going to do everything right. You're going to leave right. You're going to do everything by the books. This is when you become anal. Because you've experienced how God can give and how he can take. And when he takes, he can take for a whole season if he chooses to. And now you can beg and cry and plead to come all back, but those doors are shut. When God shut a door, that door is closed. So you're going to have to learn this lesson, so the next time that he opens a door for you, you can know how to be grateful, right? How to understand the importance of character and integrity, as well as sacrifice. But once that door shuts, if that person who blessed you is in due season, or the person who's replacing you is forever. So no, you can't have your job back because you left. Or no, you can't have me back because you left. And even though I didn't understand why you left, God knew that due season was right around the corner, and he had to have you leave so he can bring my forever kingdom partner, my kingdom spouse, my kingdom this, my kingdom that. Kingdom partnerships is what's being built right now. There's a bigger purpose. Yes, it may be a job. Yes, it may be somebody you meet at work. Yes, it may be this, but there's a bigger purpose. If you're in due season, there's a bigger purpose on why you're connecting with people and why that connection is boom, instant. And it's also, you'll see that the people that have left you or you've left or who just whatever, they are attempting to come back because they know they messed up. And it is not your job to say, haha, listen, I got convicted with that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm having transparent. Okay, so I'm not a petty girl, right? I'm just like real, give it to you raw, that type of thing. I don't got time for pettiness. But the one thing I can be petty about is that, haha, I told you so type thing. And I found myself kind of like having like too much fun with that for a minute. Like, didn't I tell? And honey, I got convicted so bad. I said, oh Lord, please forgive me. Okay, Lord. Woo, please forgive me. I'm not going to celebrate in anybody's, But God, I did told them. I did warn them. And he's like, Kizzy, but that's not your job. So if you want to do it, if you want to celebrate, then I'll just open the doors for them. And then you just celebrate. No. Teach them a lesson. My hands, I repent. I repent. Teach him a lesson. I'm going to behave. I'm going to enjoy my blessings, my grace, my favor. And you do what you do. I repent. I won't have any more petty moments. No petty Paulas. Nope. I behave. I'm going to focus. I'm going to keep my head down, do my work. I'm going to focus on my assignment. Everything you tell me to do, I will do. I will not celebrate in anybody's I told you so moments. God. Whew. Me and God like really talk like that for real. Like seriously. I get convicted so bad and I just feel like, oh God. Anyway, I hope this helps someone. It's almost 9 p.m. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.